Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Walden Marr's first online dealer evening. I'd like to thank you for all taking the time. I know it's an evening, you want to be home with your families, or you've got your family watching with you. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us for this event. I'd like to introduce you to Jerome Ganasen, our National Retail Sales Manager, and obviously I'm Gary Furman. And we're really looking forward to this event. How are you feeling about it?
I'm excited, Gary. This is going to be an awesome night.
Excellent. Well, I hope we got most of you on board. Those that are joining late, we'll see you when we see you. To start off the event, first I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. And if you could all please just make sure that your mics are muted, your cameras are off, so you have the best use of your bandwidth and get the best experience out of this, that would be great. To start off the evening's events, I want to introduce you to Ed Jackson and Ben Todd. They're coming to us from Harman's Experience Centre in London, and we're really excited to hear about the IRX family from them. Ed and Ben, over to you.
And thank you, Gary, and good evening to the Walden Marr dealers, and welcome to the Harman Experience Centre in London. My name's Ed Jackson. I'm one of the applications engineers that looks after Europe, the Middle East, and of course South Africa. This is one of my colleagues, Ben Todd.
Hi there, good to be with you this evening. So we are here in front of 75 years of JBL's heritage. I'm in front of some lovely A12s here, and a whole wall full of installed sound products which have been the culmination of all that lovely R&D. This evening we're here to talk about something which has the benefit of that without some of the esoteric price tags.
Specifically, we're talking about the RRX range. I've got in my hands the 108BT, and next to me is its bigger brother, the 112BT. Now, the numbers refer to the size of the driver, so an 8-inch driver and a 12-inch driver. Now, everyone knows that size matters. At JBL, we believe it's more what you do with it that counts. And with our smaller drivers, the 8-inch drivers, we believe that they're good enough to go up against bigger competitors. We think that they're the pound-for-pound skilled boxers in their league, and they'll quite happily go up against heavyweight contenders. Now, when we're talking about weight, actually, you can see quite how light this is.
You're going to throw that at me?
Well, Ben, because we've got to keep this distance apart because of COVID regulations, this 2-metre distance, the only way I can get this to you is this way.
Oh, thank you. That's actually quite catchable.
It's actually quite catchable. Now, we did drop it in rehearsal, testament to the fact that it still works. We're good enough for the English rugby team, not good enough for the South African rugby team, obviously. Now, Ben, can you talk to me about some of the specifications for it?
Yeah, exciting bit here, right? No, seriously, 124 dB of SPL output in an 8-inch speaker. That is quite a serious chunk of output.
But what does that mean in the real world?
Okay, in real world, if we took away 10 dB from that and said that it was 114, put two of them together, and suddenly we've got something that's going to give you the power to keep up with your function band drummer, someone who knows how to rein it in enough to get a band behind them. You're going to sound great. It goes all the way down to 54 hertz, which means you're going to get the proper feeling of the low frequency of a kick drum. If you need to go to that rock and roll thing where you've got Animal behind the kit and it's a big rock band, that's why there's the 12-inch. That goes up to 127 dB. That will keep up with that. And if you need to try and turn your insides outside, there's a 15-inch sub to go right down to the very, very low bits as well.
Now, even with that professional specification, we've tried to make it so that the feature set is pretty accessible. We've designed the back panel so that we've got set EQ presets that offer you music, speech, vocal, and a flat response if you're going to use it with a different mixing console. However, it means that it's easy to access. You don't need to be a trained sound engineer to get the best out of it. Now, with the other features that we've got a bass boost. Everyone loves bass. We've got automatic feed suppression. Everyone knows feedback. It's the noise that everyone makes as soon as they go near a microphone in any sort of film already. Cheers, film directors. Sound engineers will be able to get rid of that. The RX can do that for you as well. Now, with the last feature, we've got this ducking function. Now, how's that going to be useful? What's ducking function for?
So ducking allows us to, well, actually, let's get the Bluetooth working quickly.
So one of the benefits of this speaker is the Bluetooth connectivity. COVID distancing again, but I'm connected to the speaker over to you.
Excellent, and I'm in one of the two mic pre's. If I plug the mic in. Got the music. As soon as my drunk uncle persona comes up in your wedding mix and starts ruining things, you can see that the music has gone down. I can slur at the microphone. Everything's good. And as soon as I stagger off into the corner again,
You have got some serious drunk uncle vibes going on, Ben.
but the music's back. So
The
there we
music
are.
is back. Now, if we want to extend that, we can take advantage of its built-in mixing functionality, use the leap through function, put it into its bigger brother. Got the wrong lever, that's the benefit of being live. And all of a sudden we've got both of them playing together.
And that's just acting
Now-
as a mixer.
That's just outputting that as a mix. Now we did try to experiment with showing you quite how loud these would go. We found that it just didn't work for the microphones either for what we've got or the ambient. If you want to hear quite how loud these things go in tandem, I suggest you get down to Wild and Marr and take a listen basically. They're a really nice piece of kit. Now we're going to be back for another session if you, like you've had some other presenters, so back to the studio. Thank you, Jerome.
Cheers.
And thank you, Ed and Ben. Wow, that was an awesome presentation.
Yeah, well, if you've heard the IRXs, I mean, the 8-inch, I think, will give any other 10-inch a run for its money, and the 12-inch is right there in terms of bass with a 15.
100%, Gary. Dealers, the floor is open to you all. If you'll have any questions, you can raise your hand or drop it in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those questions for you. If you're also uncomfortable asking a question now, you can pop any one of the reps an email or give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
And you know what I think we'll do, Jerome? I think let's look at all the questions that come through this evening. We'll choose one. It doesn't necessarily have to be the most complex, but one that's maybe the most pertinent. And we'll give a prize for the best question on the evening also.
Wow.
That we'll announce tomorrow, though, once we've had a chance to look through them. So please, don't be shy. Ask your questions.
And that's just a surprise, extra prize for the night. So there you go. And now we are excited to introduce one of our other suppliers, and that's Shure. We're going to hand you over to Barry from Shure. Over to you, Barry.
Thank you, Jerome. Good evening, Waldemar dealers. My name is Barry Kassab, and I'm from Shure. It gives me a great pleasure this evening to talk to you about our PGA lineup in Shure. Now, a lot of you are not quite familiar with the rest of the range. I know a lot of you know the PGA 58, probably the PGA 57, PGA 48, but I'd like to elaborate more on the rest of the range. Now, before I talk about the rest of the range, the big title for the PGA microphones is that they are affordable range at a high quality build. A lot of the people think that they are just something to cater with the entry-level people who are not able to afford the SM microphones. Now, these microphones have an amazing quality in terms of audio. The builds are really good for using in home studios and intermediate studios as well. The sound that you get out of them is really amazing. Personally, I use them in some high-end instruments like Steinway pianos. I use them in percussions. The results are really amazing. Now, my superheroes today are in front of you, but I kind of did a bit of a segregation, so just kind of give you an idea here. But first, I'm going to start with the standard, let's say, affordable range that is made from or inherited from the SM microphones. So the first ones that I can talk about are on that side here. You have the PGA 57, pretty much like the SM57, with a just less complicated shock mount. As simple as that. Next, we have the PGA 52, inherited from the Beta 52. Same thing, kick microphone, amazing thumb. It's slightly less durable in terms of touring range. But if you use it in a studio, it's really outstanding. And one of my favorite here is the PGA 56, which is pretty much inherited from the Beta 56 with a really nice swivel mount, really click on and you're done. Really nice microphone. I mean, once you use that on a drum kit, you would know what I'm talking about in this microphone. Now, this is the average kit that you get in most of the drum kits from PGA. There are few variations that would come, but some that would never come in the PGA drum kit microphones, which we're going to highlight right now, right away, which is this baby here. This is one of my favorite go-to microphones when it comes to drum kits. This is the PGA 98. This is inherited from the Beta 98 AMP. It's with the preamp at the bottom here. It comes with a very nice click-on mount, very easy to use. You pretty much click and you mount it on the edge of the drum kit here. Swivel gooseneck top. The sound that this microphone can pick up is really, really amazing. All you need to do is just spend time tuning your drum kit, mount it on, find your sweet spot, and you're good to go. This does not come in any of the drum kit sets. So drum kit, 5, 6, 7, they do not come with the 98. So I guys really hope you spend time reading about this microphone. Now, the next in the family here that I really love is the 181. This microphone is inherited from the Beta 181, my personal favorite, to be honest. It's a large diaphragm condenser microphone. This microphone is amazing on percussions. No matter what percussions you are using it on, it brings out the warmth that everybody keeps EQing for ages on other microphones. This microphone actually, due to the large diaphragm, is very sensitive to these low frequencies, so it reproduces it really well. And without hindering any of the sparkle and the chime of that instrument. I've used this on the Steinway pianos. That was the one I've used on Steinway pianos. I used it in stereo. So I always like those in pairs. There is one drum kit pack that comes with this microphone, but I don't think it's for our region anyway. So treat this like the 98. You really need to look into this microphone. This microphone is really nice for many purposes. You can use them as overheads. You can use them as just a standard one mic for percussions. You can use them as XY for pianos and acoustic guitars. It's a general purpose microphone. So personally, I love this microphone anywhere I go. Last week, one of our colleagues in England was trying to record a pipes organ in a church. And everybody was recommending this microphone, including myself, is that you need to give this a go and you'll be surprised with the results. Last but not least in the list, and we dropped a microphone here, it's assured nothing will happen, is the 81. Of course, everybody knows the SM81. So this is the PGA 81. It's a nice size, let's say, compared to the long SM81. It's a workhorse. Again, this microphone comes right next to the PGA 181. It's a general purpose microphone, pencil microphone, very transparent sound. If you like the sound of the source as it is, go with the PGA 81. Anybody who's used the SM81 would know what 81 is. PGA 81 would not shy out from that range at all. Overall, all the PGA microphones are built to sound super great. There's no hindrance in terms of the quality of the sound. Nevertheless, they are not made for touring, and that's why they kind of shelf slightly lower than the SM microphones or the Beta microphones, is that they do not have the same durability to take them on the road. But that does not mean that they do sound any less than the SM microphones. I hope that was a quick run through them, and please reach out to any of the guys in Waldemar or myself in case of any information, or if you need any demos. I'm more than happy to do it here, right online. I've got a great facility here. Hopefully that will help to facilitate anybody who'd like to know a bit further down the line. Hope to see you soon, and back to you, Jerome.
Thank you, Barry. That was a wonderful demonstration of how a Shure mic can withstand a fall. But in any event,
Please don't go knocking any of these over, Jerome.
yeah. Okay. In any event, do we have any questions on the PGA family? And like before, you can drop it in the chat or raise your hand or even email us your questions if you want to as well.
And Jerome and I decided while Barry was doing his presentation, the prize for the best question will be JBL J104 BT monitor solution. So not a small prize. Don't be shy. Send us your questions. Even if we don't see them straight away, we will come back to you.
So throughout the event, you'll get introduced to our retail team, and which consists of Letu, Theona, and Gavin. And I would like to introduce Gavin first of all. Over to you, Gavin.
Thanks, Jerome. Good evening, Waldemar dealers. I'm Gavin from the Cape Town office. I hope you're all enjoying your evening so far. The guys over at TASCAM have some interesting products I'd like to talk to you about. Over to you, Dirk and Takashi.
Thank you, Gavin. Good evening, Waldemar dealers. My name is Takashi Tsunoyama from TASCAM. It gives me great pleasure to join you this evening and talk to you about our new products with my colleague Dirk Bourne. We would like to say one thing about TASCAM. TASCAM was established as one of the pro audio brands in Japan based on the name of the existed company in the US in 1971. So this year is TASCAM's 50th anniversary. We are very happy to introduce our new generation of USB audio interface USHR series, just released right before our anniversary. We will show the overview of these models first, and my colleague Dirk Bourne will give you a demo later. There are three models: US 1x2 HL 1 mic preamp 2 in 2 out, US 2x2 HL 2 mic preamps 2 in 2 out, US 4x4 HL 4 mic preamps 4 in 4 out. We will see the common features among three models here. Of course, HL means high resolution. 24-bit 192 kHz, USB Type-C connection, iPad and iOS devices with Apple Camera Connection Kit, loopback function, OBS support. Dirk will show you loopback demo later. TASCAM develops the driver by ourselves, not by third-party companies. As you can see, the buffer size can be set starting from 4 samples to give the best performance. It provides you with the very low latency environment. The in-house developed Ultra HDD mic preamp also has been improved. New audio circuit delivers the best-in-class audio performance like this. USHR series comes with software will enhance your production workflow. Here is lineup. At the core music production, Cubase LE and Cubase SLE. IK Multimedia Sample Tank SE comes with 30 GB sound library, more than 2,000 musical instruments. Also free 3-month subscription to Antares Auto-Tune Unlimited, industry standard pitch correction and vocal effect. Okay, we will see each exterior and I/Os. US 1x2 HR. It's suitable for guitar vocal recording musicians. There are selectable 2-in, 1 mic and 1 line, or RCA stereo input, RCA stereo output. US 2x2 HL. There are 2 mic in, so useful not only for music production but also podcast and live stream creators. 2 combo jacks, 2 balanced out, and MIDI is available from 2x2. US 4x4 HL. It's for more authentic music production. 4 in, 4 balanced out, MIDI, and 4x4 has headphone out, 2 headphone out. Okay, thank you very much. Now it's Dirk's turn.
Thank you, Takashi, for showing us all the details about the USHR series. I'm Dirk Bourne, the Technical Marketing Manager from TIAG Europe, and I want to show you now a little bit more on the practical side, the details of the USHR series. Let's first start with the control panel. What functionality do we have on the control panel? First are the direct monitor settings. You can switch mono or stereo. What is it for? If you connect only one microphone to one input and you want to monitor it through the headphones or the monitor out, it will appear only on one side. When you switch to mono, that signal is mixed to both channels in parallel and you hear it out of both sides of your headphone or your monitor speakers. We have the I/O settings, which you need to enable or disable the inputs. You can choose the output signal is a monitor mix sendout, which means the input signal mixed with the signal coming from the computer, or just the computer signal. And you can adjust the latency of between the absolute minimum of 4 samples, which is an amazing value, which will surely be need a high quality, high powered PC to run on, up to 2048 samples. This part is really important, loopback settings. What do you need loopback for? So I will show it to you this time here using Zoom. Typically, you have a setup like this. So you play some sounds on YouTube, they're going into the interface and out of the monitor speakers, while the microphone gets into the interface and to Zoom and out in the World Wide Web. Now you want to show someone or want to have some background music or want to show someone a YouTube video by sharing the screen, you need to get somehow the sound back. And that's where the loopback function comes in. And this simply adds this little path, which feeds back the output signal of the US HR series to the input and mix it with the microphone input so you have both available at Zoom. In this example, I will use SoundCloud as playback software and play back a file which is made from IK Multimedia using the Sample Tank 4, which will be shown later here as well, as it's part of the package of the USHR series. This is the Zoom settings part, and I will use it to show you how the signal arrives from SoundCloud into Zoom. And this is our control panel. First, I keep the loopback function switched up, and you'll see that you don't see anything and you don't hear anything. Now I enable loopback, and directly you will be able to listen to the sound coming from SoundCloud. You can control the level by moving the broadcast volume fader. As Takashi already mentioned, the USHR series comes with a full package of audio software. The first part is Cubase LE and Cubase's LE. Everyone nearly knows Cubase nowadays, so the LE version is offers you up to 16 audio and 24 MIDI tracks and runs on macOS and Windows, while Cubase's LE is for your iPhone or iPad and offers you 4 audio and 4 MIDI tracks. Sample Tank. As mentioned before, you just heard a few sounds coming from Sample Tank. Sample Tank is a sound and groove workstation which comes with up to 32 GB of samples and 2,000 sound patches. So let's switch over here as well to show you how it works. As you all know, this is Cubase, and here comes Sample Tank. The operation of Sample Tank is very easy, so it's installed like a VST instrument into Cubase, and you simply choose the library you want to choose from, and then you can choose the sound you want to use, like a tone wheel organ here, and then you can directly start playing. Final part which comes with our USHR series is a 3-month free Antares Autotune Unlimited license. Antares Autotune Unlimited is offering all Antares Autotune effects which are available on the market at the moment on a monthly basis. So let's have a short look what's all included here. Antares Autotune Unlimited offers a lot of different plugins like the Evox series, including the choir and Sybil and all that stuff, as well as 4 choices of Antares Autotune. We have the Antares Autotune Access, the typical Autotune plugin, which pulls the voice to the different notes selected down here. We have Antares Autotune Pro with the same functionality but in the professional version, and Antares Autotune Effects, which gives several effect sounds like vocoder sounds and all those stuff. Okay, so that's it from my side, and I want to say thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. We look forward to seeing you soon. Over to you, Gary.
Well, thank you very much, Takashi and Dirk. Before I go any further, there are some questions in the chat. I'm going to hand over to Jerome to take on those.
So firstly, for mainly all my customers, even though I'm on stage, you can still send your orders through. As long as the orders are put through before the end of the event, they will still be valid and will only be processed tomorrow. I see we've also got a hand raised. We're just going to...
I think Arek's got his
Arek,
hand
yeah.
up there. Arek, have you got a question? Do you want to unmute your mic or put it into the chat?
Right, and I see we've also got one from Hardis. That Hardis, what I will do is I will get back to you. I will check that out with TASCAM, and I will get back to you what the battery drain will be. However, you can also operate it using a power bank as well if you do need a little bit of extended battery life on it. So that could also resolve your issue of field recording as well.
Great. Well, I've got to say, I particularly like that Spider-Man effect they've got on the side there. You know, I'm almost expecting some kind of audio web to come through. But anyway, time to move on with the show. I'd like to introduce you to Theona down in Durban. Theona.
Thanks, Gary. Good evening, dealers. My name is Theona Perumal, and I am the KZN representative for the Wild and Marr team. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Ed Jackson and Ben Todd from JBL Professional to chat to you about some of the great products you love here, the Eon family. Ed and Ben, over to you.
And thank you, Theona, and hello again, Wild Marr dealers, and welcome back to the London Experience Centre. I'm Ed, this is Ben. We're going to talk about another product for you. Earlier on, we spoke about the RX, which is a workhorse product. It's the sort of thing that you'd use for day-to-day sound reinforcement, whereas the next thing we've got is a little bit sexier.
Yeah, so the Eon 1 Compact, we kind of see that more as being kind of part of the band. It's all about the musicians. There are features in there which are going to be useful for all different types of performances.
It's the sort of thing that you think you'll fall in love with as much as you do your own instruments that you play through it.
Yeah, and hopefully, like those instruments, they're pretty damn portable. So this guy, as well as being relatively lightweight, particularly for what it can do, it's also got 8 hours of battery life on board, which means you can take it anywhere and do anything you want. Plus, when you realise you've forgotten your phone charger, it's got a high-power USB output so that you can charge those sorts of things as well.
Now, in fact, that USB output is so high power that it will actually power a wireless microphone. So you can power a wireless receiver. So if you're using this out in the wild, but want to have that wireless connectivity as well, that will give you that extra juice for it. Now, in fact, it goes a little bit further than that, doesn't it? Because if you're clever, you can use something like the UI24 to create miniature delay lines with the Eon Compact using wireless technology. So in these COVID times, we had a couple of users using it to cover greater spaces than they usually would do.
Yeah, so with that in mind and the larger performance, should we do specs? Am I allowed to do specs?
You're allowed to do specs.
So when we talked about the IRX, we're quite impressed by about how much potency it's got, how much bass extension we've got available. You wouldn't expect that of a battery-powered portable speaker, but it gets pretty close. You've got 112 dB SPL of power output, which in real-world terms is going to be enough for your kind of cafe gigs. You can put multiple band members through there as well. You're not going to suffer for power in that kind of environment.
You mentioned multiple band members.
Yeah.
Part of that is that with the Soundcraft heritage that Harman are part of, we've actually got a very sophisticated little mixer, which is powered by the app that I'm just booting up on the phone here. Now, in order to see quite how sophisticated the mixer is, we actually need to put an instrument into it, don't we, Ben?
You're going to start conscripting. You're not just going to stick to Bluetooth, you're going to make us play, right?
I'm going to make you play.
Right, okay. Well, we're in the Experience Centre and we have some living props around, so we've signed the waivers, we're going to do it.
I was going to say, you should think of yourself as a bit more than a living prop, Ben.
No egos here, man. So anyway.
And so there we go. Straight away, I'm able to control the mix. And for a dry electric guitar going into that, I think that's quite a nice sound straight away. However, the the little mixer that we've got, it's got quite a nice effects engine built in. So if I start bringing in a little bit of reverb on Ben's guitar, you can hear that. Not only reverb, we've got delay. Not only delay, we've got chorus. So that's 3 dedicated effect engines, all individually across that channel. Now, as an example of how sophisticated that is, if I bring this microphone on, you can hear that that's completely dry signal. So the effect signals are, the effect sends are completely independent across every channel. Now, one of the questions is this small 8-inch speaker going to be enough to get over a louder band, get over a snare drum? So what we actually need is a snare drum.
Keeping serenading, am I? Oh, not so much serenading now.
There we go. I can still hear myself. I can still hear you, Ben. We've got another channel spare.
Yep.
There is another channel spare.
Who you got now? All right, okay.
Waldemar, are you ready for this? Waldemar, are you ready for this?
And at the moment, all of this is coming out of the Eon 1 Compact.
Are you ready for this? Waldemar.
He knows where this can go. I think for a little 8-inch speaker, we've actually got...
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm not quite sure where this has gone. You can see the madness that we've created. Thank you all for the Eon Compact bringing that through. Back to the studio, Jerome.
And thank you, Ben. And hang on, I think that's
Like carrying on.
I think they don't know that they're.
What fun can be had in an experience center, Jerome? No, carry on.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to thank Ed, Ben, and the band. I hope you're not getting any ideas here, Gary. We're not going to do that.
I'll stay off the drum kit. But just to give you an idea, this is the Eon 1 Compact, and it really, really is compact and light, and just look what it can do. So really impressive stuff here.
Before we get to questions, I see we do have some questions in the chat on some previous items. The IRXs can be linked up to 2 units in stereo imaging. If any of you would like us to demonstrate that, just give us a call. We'll get the systems to you and demonstrate how that is done.
That's with Bluetooth.
With Bluetooth, yes.
So the streaming to the devices and then linking the devices.
Linking the devices. So the beauty of it is you will get stereo imaging, so you'll still get left and right. You won't get a mono signal coming through both units simultaneously. And it's phenomenal. As well as you can also link out via just a normal cable as well. And thank you to Arun. Your comment is actually wonderful. Thank you. Do we have any questions on the Eon 1 Compacts?
I see there's a question there for the IRXs. Are there fly points on the IRX speakers?
No, there isn't any fly points on the IRX speakers because it's actually not built for install purposes. It is a portable PA system. Is there anything else? I don't see.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Like we said, we will come back to other questions once we pick them up. And if we don't happen to answer them tonight, we will answer them tomorrow. Once again, we will be looking through the questions and deciding tomorrow, which question will win the prize of the J104 BTs.
I'm going to introduce you to another one of my team members, and that's Leletu. Over to you, Leletu.
Thanks, Jerome. Good evening, Waldemar dealers. For those who don't know me, my name is Leletu Manzini, and I'm part of the Waldemar sales team based in the mother city, Cape Town. It's an honor to welcome back Barry from Shure to tell you a bit more about the Shure BLX family. Barry, over to you.
Thanks, Leletu. Hi again, Waldemar dealers. I'm very delighted right now to talk to you about the BLX wireless system. The BLX wireless system is a professional audio wireless system from Shure that brings a lot of the high-tier audio quality down to an affordable level. It comes in a variation of handhelds from PGA 58, SM58, and Beta 58, and also a variation of lavalier head-worn microphones with a body pack. It also brings in a lot of the robustness of the wireless systems that Shure are known to have in terms of a robust connectivity. So minimal dropouts within the range of operation, let's say range within, let's say 300 feet. It gives a lot of freedom to a lot of musicians and corporate to stay away or to mingle more with the crowd. The BLX wireless system comes in 3 different builds. So the standard transmitter and receiver, if it's a body pack or a handheld. And then you have the BLX88, which is the dual receiver, which gives more flexibility to have 2 systems running on the same receiver. And then we have the BLXR, which is a rack mount receiver, which is more for installed applications. The BLX also runs up to 14 hours with a AA battery, which is amazing as well. You can also use rechargeable batteries if you wish from any third-party rechargeable batteries. I would not recommend to do nickel cadmium. You can do lithium ion if you wish. As for the compatibility in terms of maximum working frequencies, you can go up to 12 simultaneous channels run together, but I would recommend not crossing the 10 working frequencies together. Make sure you're using the same work group, as in same group and then different channels, because different groups are not compatible together. Finally, I would say about the BLX here is that it is a very reliable system that you'll find in every single venue anywhere in the world. So again, if you feel that you need any questions, you can reach out to the guys at Marr or myself. And thank you very much. Back to you, Jerome.
Thank you, Barry. We see we've got some questions in the chat already. Just to answer the one question about how many units you can use simultaneously. Unfortunately, in South Africa, we only import the T11 frequency, which only allows you up to 3 multiple systems at a time. If you require more channels, you can always look at the new SLXDs, which will give you up to 24 channels per band at an amazing price point as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Shure SLXD is the latest offering from Shure, latest and greatest. Really what you're getting is premium performance at a higher budget, mid-tier kind of level. So something that I feel any retail store should have is a couple of SLXD systems in their inventory. It will only stand you in good stead, absolutely. There's another question there regarding the lifespan of the battery of the Eon 1 Compact. Like with anything using rechargeable batteries, it depends on how you charge the unit, how the unit is used, etc. I don't have anything more than that generic answer, but we'll look into it and come back to you.
There's also another question regarding the Eons and the IRXs. There is a few differences between the two, one of which, as pointed out earlier, the IRXs do not have fly points, whereas the Eons do. The IRXs have got Bluetooth streaming, whereas the Eons have got Bluetooth for app control only. Also, the IRXs only come in an 8-inch and a 12-inch, whereas your Eons come in at a 10-inch, 12-inch, and a 15-inch as well. In terms of SPL, your 12 and your 15 Eon is the same, 127 dB. However, with the Eon 15, you do get a little bit more low end out of it because of the bigger driver on the 15-inch. I'm not sure if there's any other questions on there, but if you want more information or more clarity or anything else, please feel free to call me, call Theona, Leletu, or Gavin, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions, demo the units, whatever that's needed.
All right, I did see a question there, Jerome, regarding rack mount. There are rack mount versions. The BLX-R are rack mountable and come with all the relevant hardware. Pricing can be, you can get the pricing from your rep or account manager, or just email Jerome and we'll get that information to you. But let us know exactly which model it is you require. Obviously, depending on what body pack or what mic and lapel or headset you need, the prices will differ.
And if you can also give us indication of the systems you're putting together, how many units you're putting, and we can always advise you what's also required in terms of antenna distribution if needed, in terms of racking if needed as well. We'll guide you throughout the whole process. All right.
Great.
And that's it for me. I'm going to leave you with Gary, and Gary's going to give you a lot of interesting and exciting information. Over to you, Gary.
Thanks, Jerome, and it's been a pleasure co-hosting this with you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Right, so 2020 was a rough year. I think we all felt it, and that's part of the reason we're doing this event and this evening with all the specials we're doing. We understand that you as the stocking dealers, it hasn't been easy to keep your stock levels up, and obviously by the specials that we're offering, it's not slow moving stock, it's not stock that you battle to sell. We're giving you the opportunity to come back on board, restock your shelves, restock your floors of the really fast moving run rate type of product. So don't let this opportunity go. Please get your orders in. We are coming towards the end of the evening. We are coming to the end of cutoff time. Make sure your orders come through so that we can honor them and make sure that you get what you want allocated. So as I said, tough year, but there were some dealers that absolutely knocked our socks off, that in a tough year of 2020 just seemed to almost take it in their stride. I'm not saying everybody reached what they should have reached in terms of rebate targets or anything like that, but what we would like to do is really show our appreciation to a few dealers that really did well, even considering the circumstances. So as a sign of appreciation, can we have the slides going through the dealers that really made an impact? Not going to be any singing from me, although if we think back to that Harman video, I can say it's prize time, and dealers, are you ready for this? So, time to draw totally randomly some names out of this box for people who will be winning prizes. The first prize will be the JBL 104 BTs, not the one for the questions, this is just on the random draw. So first prize for JBL 104 BTs, Archie Marr. Well done. Next prize will be for Shure SE215 BT2s, the Bluetooth in-ear earphones, and the winner is Vincent Perumal. Well done, Vincent. Right, now for the TASCAM 102i interface. Let's see, totally random, no auditors who land up in the newspapers checking this. Haroon Tarmohamed, I hope I said that correctly. Haroon, well done. And then the last prize, the latest from Shure, the Aonic SE215 True Wireless Earphones. And the winner is Simba Mugabeta. Right, fantastic. Well done, prize winners.
There you go, Simba.
Play nicely with your toys. And right now, what I'd like to do is I'd just like to thank everybody that's been involved in the making of this production. In fact, before I do that, I must just let you know that we'll be sending out a survey form tomorrow. It will come to you via email. And essentially what we want you to do is give us your honest feedback, what you liked about the event, what you'd like to see more of. If there was something you didn't like, please let us know. That will make us the next event that we do a lot better than the current one. So, and I don't think it's been bad, but feedback is always appreciated. There will be 2 prizes given away for people, and that will also be on a totally random basis, but you do have to send in your survey forms in order to be entered for these 2 prizes. One will be a Shure recording kit, which will have a Shure MVI. I think it's a PG58 and a set of SRH 240 headphones. And the other prize will be, I'm just trying
IXZ, TASCAM.
IXZ TASCAM interface. So that's 2 more prizes that can be won by you entering into the survey. Right, well, we are approaching the end of the evening, and we really need you to get those orders in as quickly as you can. I saw a message there from Steve Ellis from the Harman Applications team asking where we're going for the beers now. I don't think it's quite as easy for everybody, and especially there in the UK, to go out to a pub, and in South Africa that's a pub, and get some beers, but we'll see what we can do when we can all travel again. An event of this nature is not possible without the help of a whole lot of people behind the scenes. I'd like to just take some time to thank everybody from the Marr and Tom's marketing team, Jessica, Carmen, Neldo, Tofu, Haley. I think I got everybody there. From our retail sales team, of course, Jerome, who was my co-host this evening, Fiona in Durban, and Gavin and Leletu in Cape Town. Thank you. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. I'd like to thank our engineering team. I mean, what they've pulled together here is just, I think, in the words of Darren Durbach, sublime. So Anton, Dwayne, Corey and Dierwald, thank you so much. I think I might have forgotten Neldo when I was talking about marketing. Anyway, Neldo, just to mention him. To our suppliers, to Takashi, to Dirk, to Ben, to Ed, to Barry, and all the people supporting you at Shure, at Harman and at TASCAM. Thank you very much for all the support you give us. It just makes our job that much easier. And then last but not least, you, our customers, you the reason we're here tonight. We wouldn't have this if it wasn't for you. We really appreciate all your support. Please let us know what we can do to make your lives easier over and above what we've done here with the prizes, with the specials. Let's make sure that we're giving you the service you require. Let's make sure you've got stock on the floor, and really in a position to take advantage of what I see as 2021 being a major step up from last year. So I wish you all, first of all, a great evening. Thank you for your time once again. I wish you a successful, healthy 2021, and just really anything we can do, let us know, and we'll do the best we can. Thank you and good night.